Are you sick of feeling extremely hungry when you diet? Or maybe you just feel like you're always starving? In this video, I'm going to tell you why that happens, and then at the end, I'm going to give you 3 of my favorite tips to feel not only full, but to enjoy the foods that you actually like while dieting and cutting weight. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Okay, so we need to understand a couple important principles. Number 1, and most important thing when it comes to losing weight, as I've said a million times, you need to focus on eating less than what you take in. Burn more than what you consume on a daily basis, weekly basis, and you will lose weight. But we need to make sure that we're losing the right type of weight. So principle number 2 is prioritizing the right amounts of the types of foods that we're taking in. What do I mean? I mean making sure that we're hitting enough protein every single day, so that way we are not losing muscle while we're losing weight. So getting the right amount of our macro, and especially our protein, not just macros in general, but mainly protein. And the third thing, which is again still very important, but it's not as important to losing weight as the first two, is going to be the quality of the foods that we take in. So again, I might get some backlash on this, but let me explain this a little bit more. You will lose weight no matter what if you cut enough calories. But again, so that is why that is the most important thing. And I've seen people eat some pretty trash diets, but they're getting enough protein, they're getting the right macro breakdowns, they're eating less than what they burn on a daily basis, and they get results, but maybe they don't feel the best, they crash and burn more, maybe they get injured more. So that's why, again, the other things are more important, but quality is very important as well. Now that we know these basic principles, how can we avoid feeling like we're starving all the time when we diet? So the first thing is we want to make sure that we're not cutting our calories too quick. A lot of people will go right out the gate and they cut down tons of calories, and then they have no wiggle room and they crash and burn after a short amount of time. But let's go ahead and say that you didn't do that, or maybe you have, and you're just trying to figure out, how can I not feel like I'm starving and continue this weight loss process? Here are 3 of my favorite tips. Number 1, prioritize high volume, low density foods. So again, this is why low fat diets tended to be a little bit more popular, is because fat is double the amount of calories as carbs or protein, and they take up a lot of extra space in terms of calories. So if we can get high volume foods like vegetables, sweet potato, compared to like lean meats instead of higher fat meats, tend to be a lot better when it comes to losing weight, because you get more volume, which fills you up more, but you get the same amount of calories or even less. Number 2 is time restricted eating. So this is why fasting is also a pretty popular method. But if you can eat less frequently or condense your eating window, then you can put more calories into a shorter amount of time. And then the last thing kind of ties into better quality, but if you can focus on getting the right types of nutrients and high nutrient foods, that'll actually help your body to feel like it's getting the nutrients it needs, which therefore will help with a lot of the hunger pains, or also just brain fog, like tiredness, and all of those things lead to a less enjoyable process. And so anything we can make it a little bit more enjoyable will help you to sustain it for a longer period of time and lose more weight. So hopefully that all helps. I know there's a lot of information, but we'll see you in the next one.